Hello again everyone, Ustad Sensei here. So I've been trying to do something different for a while now. Uploads on the channel have been consistent, but the content itself became somewhat repetitive. As a teacher, I always feel the need to teach people things, whenever I can, whether it be my family, my friends, or my students. That's why I feel it's my duty to teach you guys stuff, and it's the reason behind this whole channel to begin with. I try to do it by sharing personal experiences, or simply explaining in detail a piece of content or something that I enjoy. I thought I would try to go back to the roots of anime and start where we all did, Shonen Anime. I think it's important to explain where it all began and try to understand what are Shonen Anime and why are they so popular. As you all know, all the anime releases from the past decades to today have been classified by target demographic when released. Contrary to movies or TV shows, anime are not categorized by genre only. That is why shonen mangas, which literally means mangas for boys or mangas for young teenage boys, are called that way. It is because they are meant for that target demographic. With that in mind, we can start thinking about how to answer the following question. Why are shonen mangas so popular? A shonen manga has to respect some criteria to cater to its audience. Not only that, but it also needs to understand what the audience is looking for. Why are people reading shonen mangas and why are they watching shonen anime? So let's stop here for a second and close our eyes and think about the time where we were young and we just started to watch anime. What is it that we enjoyed the most while watching our favorite shonen? Whether it was One Piece or Bleach. What made us rush to our computers to watch the next episode of Naruto or read the next Bleach scan? By answering these questions, I think it'll become more clear for us what shonen authors look for when writing their stories. First, let's start with what all these shonen mangas have in common. They all have a young male as the protagonist. More than often, he is a relatable teenage boy and leads a very mundane life. He goes to school and is mostly alone as he is never the popular guy in school. He leads a normal life, comes from a regular family, nothing extraordinary. Oh, and also he always has some kind of big dream in life. We don't have to go far into the list of shonen mangas to see that. We saw all those traits in Uzumaki Naruto as he tries to become the next Hokage, or in Izuku Midoriya as he tries to be the best hero he can be. The reason why all the shonen mangas start with a character like these two is because the authors try to create a connection between their stories and their audience. There must be a bridge between our life and theirs. When we watch an anime, for example Naruto, we need to find ourselves inside that character. With that, we can start to build a connection with the anime. And this is the first spark. I remember when I first started to watch Naruto, it wasn't hard for me to relate to him. Like me, he tried to find his place in school, and we were both around the same age. We didn't have any particular talent or status, and we led a very simple life. We were just two boys trying to fit in. But that doesn't last long. That mundane lifestyle and the regular boy vibe ends quite early in shonen mangas. That is just a bait the authors use to hook us in. And once that's done, it's time to enter the next phase. It is in this part, in my opinion, that all the shonen anime we watched so often throughout our lives entered our hearts and stayed with us forever. The part I'm talking about is the beginning and the continuous transformation of our protagonist. While he starts as a regular teenage boy, he quickly changes and finds himself being more than just that normal kid. Maybe he discovers something within himself, or maybe he goes through something traumatic. Regardless of what happens, the important point to note here is that this simple boy becomes relevant to the people around him and to the story itself. He gets to feel special and have a purpose that no one else would have expected him to have. This part is the most crucial for shonen mangas, because this is where we, as the audience, start to perceive the protagonist's transformation into ourselves. We start to feel like us two are not so regular anymore. That deep within ourselves, we are special and are meant for greater things, more than just what was offered to us in life. The simple fact that we created a connection with the main character at the beginning brings us to feel everything he feels. His motivation, his pain, and his ambition. All those emotions become ours, and we deeply believe that. Maybe not now as we went through our teenage years, but back then we surely did. How often did you tell yourself not to give up because Naruto went through worse than this? Or how many times did you get back up because you were meant for more while thinking about your favorite shonen anime? That drive, those emotions that surface in those moments, this is what shonen mangas aim for. While all of this is very important to make a good shonen, it is not enough to make it a great one. Shonen mangas go one step further to strengthen our connection with the protagonist by introducing what I like to call the friends we made along the way. Like every young male in his audience, the protagonist can't be by himself. Socializing at that age is critical to our growth. As adolescents, we can't see ourselves being alone, and loneliness is very hard to live through at that age. We want to be part of something in school. We want to be recognized by our peers. We want to have a group of friends that understand us, with whom we can share experiences. We need to fit in, somewhere, anywhere, and we feel a constant urge to be accepted by others. Our protagonist will find those people and keep them close throughout the story. Most of the time, they won't be friends with him at first. Maybe they find him annoying, or just not relevant enough to be bothered with. But through his authenticity and his disregard for what others think of him, they feel somewhat attracted to his personality. Let's take for example almost everyone in Naruto. No one cared for him or even bothered speaking to him at first. But by staying true to himself and never giving up, he starts to inspire people around him. And one by one, they follow him. They grow fond of him and build the most amazing friendships. While this is very circumstantial in real life, I think it happens more often than not. I'm not saying that by watching anime we'll become popular in school or find ourselves in the most amazing group of friends ever, but growing up watching shonen anime and living with that emotional connection will help us find people who are similar to us, people who share that same love for anime than us. And in my opinion, that is enough to start a lifelong friendship. All of this is what makes shonen anime so great. It is why we love them so much, and no matter how many years pass, we'll always have that tingly feeling when seeing a scene from our favorite shonen or listening to an opening we forgot existed. The connections we made with those stories and characters is here to stay. I'd like to know what shonen anime stayed with you throughout the years, and which character did you have the strongest connection with. I'd invite you to do this in the comments, and as always, if you enjoyed this one, please leave a like and subscribe, and see you on the next one.